here for another addition to the Women's Wednesday variety. So let's go ahead and have some fun with it. I'm ready. Are you? Yes, we'll see. Welcome back to Eddie B TV. I am, of course, Eddie B. Nice to see y'all. We are back at you again today for another reaction video, and back, like I said, for another Women's Wednesday stand-up comedy clip. And yeah, I'm ready for it. It's been a little while since we've been here, as you all know, and I've been, crying my eyes out like a little punk about it. My video editor and all that. Okay, yes, I'm done crying. So yes, we are back at it again. And today we're gonna get into somebody that I have not gotten to the whole time we've been on the channel here. We're gonna get into someone by the name of Brittany Schmitt today. Okay, well, I've never heard of this woman before. Don't know how long she's been in comedy, don't know at all, but we're gonna see what she's talking about with this one. And to those of y'all who watch me regularly know that most of the time I pick clips based on titles. If the title sounds even remotely, interesting or triggers something in my curiosity at all, usually I'll go for it, even if it isn't all that funny. But yeah, we're gonna get into Brittany Schmitt, like I said, and this one is gonna be titled, yeah, this is one. X in the NBA. I personally, this is comedy, so obviously this is the exception to the rule here, but I personally don't care to hear about any woman who dated an NBA player or any athlete for that matter, because it always has some stupid thing in it that, they're talking smack about. It's like a revenge thing because dudes talk about this and blah, blah, blah. But like, I'll get to that later because I don't know exactly what she's going to be talking about, but we're going to find out. So yes, we're going to get into this one like I said. So Brittany Schmitt with X in the NBA. And if you like this reaction, please pull on the like button for me one time. Subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and leave a nice comment for your boy. Constructive critiques, leave a nice suggestion or request, and throw a couple jabs at me, throw some jokes. Friendly dialogue, no drama here. All right, you guys know the deal with that. Yeah, usually I be thinking throw a couple things. I'm trying to change it up as much as possible. As you can see, I changed up the background. I'm just trying to make some things even fresher than usual, or if that's even possible. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to get back to having fun. I haven't been doing this in a while, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm mixing it up and not sounding like the same every single time, even though some things might be the same or whatever. But yeah, I'm talking too much because that's another thing that remains the same about me. Yeah, man, back for another Women's Wednesday stand-up comedy bit, and I want to see what this woman is talking about. So let's go ahead and get into it. Brittany Schmitt with X in the NBA, right here on Eddie B TV. Women's Wednesday is stand-up. We back at it, and let's have some fun here. I don't care if I stutter through it, man. I'm human, damn it. That's what it is right here. All right, let's get situated with this one, and here we go.
I just celebrated an anniversary recently with my husband. We've been married now for 5 years. Send help. No, it's great. People think that being with the same person for a long time is boring, but I don't think those people have ever tried anal. After eating Chinese food. You want to spice things up. By things, I mean his dick.
Ouch.
New slogan in our house, no backdoor dickin' after Kung Pao chicken.
Oh, hell no.
We did also recently just get a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Anyone have one of these? Bunch of pores, okay. All right, here's what they don't tell you about Tempur-Pedic mattresses is that they eliminate shock as well as your sex life. Because on a regular mattress, as you all know, you're like up, down, up, down, up, down. And then on a Tempur-Pedic mattress, it's like you go down and you stay there. Like, fucking on a Tempur-Pedic mattress is like an Olympic level sport that I'm uniquely unqualified for because I have hip dysplasia.
Oh, damn.
So if you guys are thinking about like a German Shepherd at the end of its life, just like dragging its hind leg, that's your girl. Hard to keep shit popping when the only thing popping is your hip.
Ouch.
I have been with my husband now for 7 years total, but prior to that, all of my relationships expired quicker than milk because my favorite part of the relationship was the chase. Like, there's nothing more interesting in a person than if they're not interested in me, right? Like, you're gonna block me on Instagram? I'm gonna wait in your bushes in a wedding dress.
God damn.
Fuck with me. No, but the thing that sucks about being married is your partner is just always into you. You know, my husband just like follows me around the house with a boner. Like he's having to go on a jizzness sale. I'm like, hey man, could you not? You know, could you act like a little less into me? And he's like, but we're married. Like, what do you want, a divorce? And I'm like, now you're talking dirty.
Oh, hell no.
I heard from a guy recently that I used to hook up with in the NBA, and I thought he was going to be calling to talk about the glory days of the hoary days. But instead, he called to tell me that now he's a Jehovah's Witness, and I should repent. And I started laughing. And he was like, why are you laughing? And I was like, this is just really hard to hear coming from someone who peed in my mouth.
Damn. Wow.
And then he said, Brittany, this is life-changing stuff. And I said, so is that threesome we had with your cousin Keith.
God damn, bro.
After I wrote that joke, my husband was like, babe, have you ever Googled how many ex-NBA players are Jehovah's Witnesses? And I was like, no, why? And he's like, there's 2.
Oh, boy.
So when you guys go home tonight and do that Google search, just know, he was the light-skinned one.
Oh, my God. Come on, girl.
I do feel bad for my husband, though. You guys are like, we do, too. No, because I got sober in our marriage, and I used to be a very frisky drinker. You know, I used to come home from happy hour and bust through the door like the fucking Kool-Aid man. Be like, my neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. And now I'm like, if you lick me, I'll call the police. I do give him credit, though. He does try and keep my inner hoe alive. The other day we were stuck in traffic, and he was like, yo, babe, give me roadhead.
Oh.
I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, come on.
He was like, why not? And I was like, it's broad daylight. We're in standstill traffic. Everyone would see me. He's like, man, you're no fun anymore. And I was like, I'm driving.
Okay.
Simply cannot.
Oh, shit.
I did quit drinking, though, but I wasn't convinced in the beginning that I was an alcoholic because you go to these AA meetings and you hear the craziest shit. Like, the first one I was at, this woman was like, 7 years ago, I was giving myself an abortion in an alley with a water pick. I was like, whoa. You can use a water pick?
Of course. Damn.
I could have saved so much money. Talk about a life hack.
Wow, that's good.
I do think it's interesting when you want to get an abortion and people come to you with ridiculous reasons why you can't. You know, they'll be like, but what if your kid is the next Lady Gaga or the next Bradley Cooper? And I'm like, well, then the name of this movie is A Star Was Aborted. It gets so much darker.
That was a good one.
I was talking to my best friend from high school the other day, and she told me that the person that bullied me the most when I was growing up died. And I was like, holy shit. You didn't think that I knew my mom died?
Oh. Okay.
And she did kill herself. And this is the part where I have to tell you that I'm okay. She's not. I'm fine, though. Here's the thing. When she was alive, she would always start projects and not finish them. So I do think when she killed herself, we really overlooked the accomplishment of her finally sticking to her guns.
God damn.
Literally. If you didn't like that one, you're going to hate this one.
Bring it on, sweetheart. Bring it on.
When you lose someone to suicide, you realize there's no great greeting cards. So I want to start a new greeting card company called Suicidal Sympathies. And the slogan can be like, the only way to get through the dark is to make light of it. And then the cards are going to say stuff like, hang in there. They went out with a bang.
True.
Slit happens.
Oh my God.
All right, a lot of you guys don't like that, but I think it's a killer idea. I love this shit. So anyway, I'm in therapy. I love therapy and I love my therapist, and every time I see her, I like to tell her, I'm like, you are my most expensive friend. And she's like, we're not friends. And I'm like, you have intimacy issues. She's like, you're projecting.
I like her, man.
I do like therapy, but I feel like it's a very well-intentioned pyramid scheme, because every time I go to therapy, I come back and I say to my husband, I'm like, my therapist and I think that you need to go to therapy. So my husband finally decided to go to therapy. And I texted my therapist. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, who are we going to send him to? And I'm not kidding you when I say she sent me the hottest person I've ever seen in my entire life. This bitch was wearing a choker in her professional headshot.
Yikes.
Nothing says I suck dick to trick my Fitbit. Quite like a choker. I was like, never mind, babe, you don't have to go to therapy. We are going to have much bigger issues if you spend an hour a week with this slut. We're good. My husband and I don't want kids because we want money and sleep and for our marriage to work. And I don't want a kid because I'm still raising my husband. Like the other day, he scratched his legs until they bled. I was like, babe, you gotta use lotion. He was like, I don't believe in lotion. I was like, it's not a belief system, it's science. Like, if you were black, you'd get it because you'd be ashy. And he's like, if I were black, you'd love me more. And I was like, that's also science. It's really hard not wanting a kid, though, because there's nothing my dad wants more than a grandchild. You know, he's very pro-life, and I'm very pro-my life, which doesn't include kids. And I think the pro-life logic is interesting because they think abortion is murder, which is fine. But by that logic, our miscarriage is suicide.
Damn.
And I know a lot of you want me to kill that joke, but I think there's life there, and when there's life, there's hope. All right, you guys been a lot of fun. I'm Brittany Schmitt. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, no way. Okay. She's got jokes, man. She's definitely got jokes. Damn, she is dark. I love it, man. It's amazing. All right, well, a lot to say about this one, man. That was Brittany Schmitt with X in the NBA. Surprisingly, you know, well, not surprisingly, I should say, a lot of times the titles that I pick, man, they only have like a small mention of the title in the bit, you know, which is kind of whatever. But, you know, she has that kind of like that comfortable arrogance that some women have that I don't like personally in my personal life. But she's very funny, man. There's no denying that. Do I think relationships can get boring? Absolutely. I mean, it's love. It's something that they don't teach you when you're young. Love is not something that is fun long term. It's just it's like it's heartfelt. You know what I mean? And when emotions get into play a little bit too much, at least how I see it anyway, it can make things very, very sour, very, very dull. And it's just like what it is. I mean, it's not a matter of trying to discourage anybody from love. It's just what it is. I mean, if you've been around somebody long enough, you'll realize just how much you probably wouldn't have picked them if you would have known these things when you met them. You know, it's just whatever, you know. I imagine that my lady probably wouldn't have picked me. I probably wouldn't have picked her. We don't know. I mean, we are what we are right now, you know, 7+ years into it, man, and it's just like, it is what it is. I mean, so, you know, yeah, when she said that anal, you know what I mean, can make your relationship not so boring in the long term, well, that does have a lot of truth to it. but yet so does other, sexual escapades that come into it. I always find it funny how females always, well, some people hate that I say females, so I'll just say both. Females, women, whatever. I often find it funny how women will never ever mention threesomes when it comes to spicing up the relationship for the sake of the man, and then also mentioning some other things for the sake of the woman. It's just like they always just leave that one out. It's like, hey, you want to make our relationship better? How about we eliminate you for a night here and there? But yeah, that pisses some women off, but I don't give a damn. It's never gonna stop me from saying it. But yeah, man, she's funny. I've had a Tempur-Pedic mattress before, and I'm not saying anything twisted or whatever, man. Fucking on a Tempur-Pedic mattress is pretty damn fun. It is strenuous, but yet that's also what makes it fun, because you're putting all your effort into it and whatever, and then you don't have to worry about other people listening so much, because then it's not like the headboard bouncing on the wall, or the little, the spring sound like and all that. It's pretty damn fun to me. But hey, she said she had hip dysplasia, so yeah, obviously not so good for her, but hey, it is what it is. One thing about her mention of the whole X in the NBA thing, I don't care if the dude's a Jehovah's Witness or not. I don't care what their freaky life was like back in the day. But the one thing that I could never avoid, and this is just me personally, man, if I find out that any woman I got with had a life where she was a crazy freak and all this before she got with me, and now she not into that no more, I don't want to be with her. I'm not saying you got to do exactly the same shit, but you got to bring forth some effort, some energy, and some desire to me, because I'm not just some second fiddle ass dude. I ain't playing with that, because you're basically just telling me that I'm somebody you're settling for, and I ain't with that. It might seem a little bit stupid to me to some people, but I don't care. I've had to deal with that a lot in my life. I always run into a female when she's a born again Christian or some shit. I ain't with that. But other than that, man, I swear, like, what else was she talking about? Being married for 5 years, and also her dude following her around with a boner all day. Jesus Christ, man. It just makes me really think about what is it that women really want. They don't mind being the ones that's all over you, but if you all over them, it's like a weird thing. Double standards, I don't know, little hypocrisy maybe, I don't know, slide that in there. I mean, there's been times when I've been very into my woman to the point where I don't want to see her bounce on me, or I just don't want to let her have any private time or space, and then vice versa. But I think the communication element is very clear on that. Just make things clear. And if the other person can't get on board, then you know that the long term just really isn't in your future now, is it? But other than that, man, what else? Oh my goodness. I don't have my own kids. I wanted them, but unfortunately, that's not gonna go with my life. I'm not gonna be able to have my own children for the rest of my life, unfortunately. But if I were to have the choice, and everything was lined up properly, I'd probably have one, maybe two, never more than two, because that's just ridiculous. And that's just to me. Some people will disagree, like, what is it with people just trying to say one or two kids? Well, yeah, there's a part of me that feels it's kind of like, irresponsible and a little bit far-fetched to think that you could take care of more than two kids. Yeah, we all got big families, but we also see how many fucked up individuals that are our siblings, and maybe we just shrunk it down to one or two. Then if they really are a fuck up, then you really have nobody to blame but you, mama, dada. But yeah, man, my sister, she had 4 kids, I think. She gave up 2 for adoption. And my mom had 6, almost 8. I was the oldest of all the kids, man, and we see how all of us turned out. I mean, geez, I'm sitting right here, man. Jeez, and I work at a toll booth, for crying out loud, at 37 years old. So, I mean, I didn't turn out to be a murderer or molester, rapist, thief, or nothing like that. But hey, man, I still got some issues, don't we all? But yeah, man, I think the last part, though, about having a abortions, miscarriages, whatever, the greeting cards. That was dark, but it was awesome as hell. You know, I originally saw this title, man, and I wanted to hear it because I was kind of hoping that maybe I could roast her for probably being like a weak-ass comedian and a dumb bitch or whatever, but nah, she was funny as hell, and she's got some sexy to her as well, so I'm not even gonna hate on her, man. She killed this one. I'm pleasantly surprised, and yeah, I definitely got to check out some more of her. So if you guys got some clips of her that you guys like, and if she's funny to y'all, please drop me some suggestions, because I am very surprised with this one. She's very funny. And usually sexy women do not make for the best comedians, at least in my opinion. But I have run into a few surprises as well. And yeah, hopefully it just gets better and better from here. So yeah, it's gonna be a killer idea. Damn, she hardcore for that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right there. One more time, Brittany Schmitt with X in the NBA. And if you like that reaction, please boom on the like button for me. One more time, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and of course leave a nice comment for your boy. Constructive critiques, leave a nice suggestion or request, and throw a couple jabs, couple jokes at your boy. Have fun with me. Friendly dialogue, no drama here. All right, none of it. I don't want any of that. I want fun and I want happiness. I know I'm gonna run into a few assholes here and there, man, but we're gonna tone that shit down over time. Believe me on that. So yeah, man, this is gonna be Eddie B TV, wrapping this one up one more again. Like I said, a pleasant surprise. You know, like I said, I saw this title and I thought it was gonna be like the first time I saw Taylor Tomlinson. The first one I watched of her wasn't all that good to me, but the next one I watched after that one was very funny from Taylor, and it reminds me I gotta get to more Taylor Tomlinson too. But this was hella funny, man. What she said about the X in the NBA though, talking about, oh, that's funny, you're a Jehovah's Witness though. I'm laughing because you used to pee in my mouth. Jeez, man. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, man, but she definitely threw it in there, and it definitely had its yeah, it definitely had its humor to it, man. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't. But I think that bragging about who you're hooked up with, you know, as far as celebrities goes, I think that's tired. I think that's classless, and I think it doesn't really show much about you. I think even in general, I think that if you're gonna brag about anything, it should only be to your closest friend or friends. If you have, like, I say maybe, yeah, I'll just say a max of 2 of your closest friends that you tell, and they have to be the type of people that don't spread your business out. So that's the only acceptable circumstance for me. I don't like bragging on females I hook up with. It's just not my thing. I like to have fun with it, and I like to have the stories in my head, and I like to bounce them off, you know, my homeboy, maybe C-Dab, the CEO, or B-Rob, and that's just about it to me. But she told a whole audience of people about how she got pissed in her mouth on by an ex-NBA player, a light-skinned Jehovah's Witness, one of 2 of them. Jesus Christ. I'm kind of tempted to look it up, but I really don't care. I really don't want to know at all, because I'm pretty sure everyone else already did that. And now they probably, you know, all over this dude's tip clowning him or whatever. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about that. Thank y'all for tuning in one more time to this one, man. I had a lot of fun getting to another edition to Women's Wednesday stand-up comedy clips, man. I'm glad I kept the whole thing going. You know, I didn't think it was going to last that long. I thought I might get bored with it. I forgot about it a couple of times, but remembered at the last minute. So yeah, it's become second nature to me now, and I'm glad we're still doing the damn thing. So yeah, like I said, thank y'all for tuning in, and until next reaction, love and appreciate y'all. Peace.